Hello, everyone, and welcome to our front-end development workshop from Beetroot Academy. My name is Varvara. I'm PR manager of Beetroot Academy. Today, I will be moderating this webinar, and the main speaker is Alex. He is a full-stack developer with an experienced front-end developer. He will tell you more about the front-end, about this profession, and we'll discover it for you. First of all, I want to ask you to drop something in our live chat just to make sure that now you hear and see us well and you don't hear any echo as we did before. And I guess we will give a chance to join us for those who are a little bit late. So I will start with a little intro about Beetroot Academy just to make you more familiar with us, with the model, how do we teach, and with our course. So let me share my screen and start from the very beginning. Well, Beetroot Academy is a Swedish-Ukrainian tech school. We exist from 2014, and we have a mission. Our mission is to help people to build a great careers in digital economy. Since 2014, we work in Ukraine and abroad, and almost more than 7,000 students broke into tech with us. Here you can see like the portraits of our students. We teach both those who are just starting their careers. These are usually university graduates. Also, our students are industry professionals who have experience in tech, but in other fields, and they want to try something new, to develop new skills, maybe to switch a little. And also we teach switchers. These are people who have a lot of professional experience, but they never worked with tech. They work in different fields. So they come to us to switch their careers because they think that, and we support them in this decision because tech is one of the most fast-growing industries in the world. And for sure, you have a chance to make a great career in this field. A little bit about the front-end development course and about our model, how do we teach. We use a flipped classroom model. This means that you have all materials in our learning management system. You can look through it and read them on your own at any convenient time. So when it comes to the live classes with our expert teachers, you don't waste time just to read something theoretical. You're just doing practice and gaining practical skills. We also teach in a small groups, so every student has enough attention from the teacher and can clarify everything that is not clear for him. The nearest group is started on September 12th, so you can join it. Also, we realized that almost everyone who is today with us is interested in front end, but if you're not sure what profession to choose, because when it comes to something that is completely new, it's quite hard to understand your needs and to choose the path that fits you most. On our YouTube channel, we have similar webinars like introduction to all other courses we have. This is Python development, UI UX design, project management. So you can just look through it, just look through our YouTube channel and maybe make another choice or decide to stay in the front end. Now my part is over and I pass the microphone to Alex. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. A few seconds, let me share my screen.
Oh, just a little reminder from me, our live chat will be working through the whole webinar. So if you have some questions or something is not clear, or you just want to say thank you or hello to other participants, do not hesitate, do not be shy, just drop into the live chat. We will look through it. And if you have any questions, we will give an answer.
Yeah, thank you. So let's start. Hello and welcome. My name is Alex Sardinsky. Last 7 years, I'm working as front-end developer. I had production experience with different front-end frameworks like React, Angular, Vue, backend frameworks, Node.js, Nest.js, different databases, SQL databases like PostgreSQL, NoSQL databases, Mongo, and so on. But today we will talk about the front end. We will try to cover three main topics. The first one will be about history of the internet, web design evolution. The second one, it will be about knowledges, what you need to know if you want to start as a front-end developer. We will have some small practice part. And the last one topic, it will be about the popular frameworks and technologies that we are using now. Let's start from the history. Maybe you know, but maybe no, but internet, firstly, and everything about computer networks, it was a part of the internal scientific circles. It was developed for sharing documents between different universities, between different scientific organizations, and so on. But in 1989, Tim Berners-Lee got an idea to share this technology with the whole world. And as a result, we got the first web page. You can see it here, you can scan QR code, and it's still present and available in the internet. So you can check it, you can check the structure. But it was a super simple page. Here you can see that we have a text document with hyperlinks. Hyperlinks, it's connection links that are connected to different documents. So you can go and read something about hypermedia and so on. So firstly, it was just a data that was connected by hyperlinks. Yeah, and all these documents that are connected, they need to be placed on some computers that name it server. We will talk about it later. Here you can see another two examples of first web pages. This pages, it's Yahoo and AltaVista. It was first search engines that help us to find information around the internet, the first internet. It's very simple pages. Only hyperlinks, simple input field, and yeah, and small images. Let's move forward. As you know, if you want to open any web page, you need to have a browser. And here we have another branch of the evolution. It's browser evolution. Maybe you know something about browser wars. It's a very interesting topic. You can find this additional information around the internet. But here I just wanted to know this, that we had first browsers like Mold, Viola, Mosaic, and maybe you know something about the Internet Explorer. Here is the interface. It was super simple. On the left side, you can see Netscape Navigator. For now, it's transformed into the Firefox browser. On the right side, you can see Internet Explorer, simple interface, but you already can move forward, back, save information, print information, and so on. Yeah, my first browser was Internet Explorer, and if you want, you can share your first browser name on the live chat. We'll check it later. It will be interesting, some kind of statistic. So browsers, they have their own evolution. The next big part of the internet, it's specification. So as you understand, internet growing up, we have different versions of improvements every year. We have new specifications. We have on 1992 was created a World Wide Web Consortium. It controls these specifications. So yes, first, it's different standards, specifications that help us to improve the visual parts or functional parts of our pages. And on 1995, we had two big improvements. We got CSS and JavaScript. It's two different languages. We will cover it later on the next blog. And now on the next slide, I will show you the evolution of the pages with CSS and JavaScript. But here on this slide, I also want to tell you about the second big event. It was, it's something like called like .com boom. We got first e-commerce projects. We got companies like Amazon, eBay, Google, Web got different investitions and so on. So it was another big point on the internet evolution way. Here is another examples, the same AutoVista site, also Yahoo engine. You can see that here we already have background colors, we have different type of icons, we have more images, we have structure of the site, we have left side, right side, we have different blocks. We have primitive navigation. Also, you can see, for example, on AutoVista side, we also have different inputs like checkboxes. It was added with this new iteration of standards. The next big step on standards, next version of standards, it was CSS3 and HTML5. We got, here you can see that we got more, we can add different fonts on our sites. We can add different types of images. Here you can see that we have some first animations, first highlighting of different elements, new input types, and so on. Yeah, so this one slide is about your minute on the internet. It's just about actions and time that we spend on the internet. So you can see that $1 million spent online every minute. We have 1 million views of different videos, and so on. So as you understand and as you know, the internet is a big part of our life and is growing. So that's why I think probably you have a job if you will be a front-end developer, because every business needs to have a website. Here is another example. You can scan QR code or use this link on the presentation. And here you can see the current state of the web. It's a site where we can see top designed websites. You can visit different sites. You can see how it looks now, how many animation we have audio and so on. Yeah, so here you just can see top designed sites on the internet. Yes, so let's move forward. The next block, it's about front-end, it's about knowledges. So let's firstly let's take a quick overview of the internet and how it works. So firstly, all information is stored on different computers. These computers, they are named servers. So we have HTML page with connected CSS document and maybe JavaScript. This server can be connected to the database and so on. But when we want to get any information, we need to ask server to give us this specific information. Every computer, every server has a unique IP address. It's something like identifier for this server. On server, we have backend. It names like backend. All that everything that is connected to server, it's about backend development, database development, different backend frameworks. It's about servers. The next part, it's clients. One more time, if you want to open the web page, you need to have a browser. Browser can be started on different devices. It can be started on the notebook, on different tablets, mobile phones, and so on. But on every device, you need to have a client. So front end, it's about web clients. It's about browser. It's about different dashboards, login screens, and so on. Everything that we can see. For example, this one presentation that I'm sharing with you is started on the Google Slides. Google Slides, it's a web application. So it's created with front-end frameworks. Yeah, so in global internet and web, it's about communication between clients, between front-end part and servers. Yeah, and here we have fun image, how it looks from the developer's perspective. Yeah, here you just need to know, I just wanted to know that everything that is about the business logic, about storing some passwords, about processing some payments, it's about backend. Front end, it's a visual part, it's the buttons, animations, and so on. Okay, let's move forward. And what you need to have if you want to be a front-end developer. First of all, you need to have a browser, but I believe you already have it. It can be any browser from the modern browsers, Chrome, Firefox, Safari. We don't have now browser wars, and say every browser is support the standard. So you need to have a browser. It's an application that will open the web page. The second one part is code editor. It's a place where you will put your own code. It can be specific code editor like Visual Studio Code, WebStorm, and so on. Some of them are free. For example, I'm using Visual Studio Code. The note that Visual Studio Code is also created by front-end language JavaScript. It's just a node. So you can choose any. It can be a simple Windows notepad. You just need to have a place where you put your code. So if you have code editor and browser, you can start. What you need to know. We have three main stones in front end. It's three languages. HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. HTML is hypertext markup language. It's about the structure. It's about different blocks. It's about paragraphs, forms, and so on. A few minutes later, I will show you on the practice part how the website looks only with HTML, and we will add CSS and JavaScript. So you will see the difference. But one more time, HTML, it's about the structure. CSS, cascading style sheet, it's about visual part. It's about colors, fonts, animations, some effects, sizes, and so on. And the third one, Stone, it's a JavaScript. JavaScript is programming language. It responsible for the login, logic, opening modal windows, everything that that about changing the state of our web page. Yeah, so you need to have some experience with these languages. You can find a lot of information around the internet. It's another visualization of these three languages. Yeah, so we can move forward. And here you can scan this QR code. We will have a small practice. I will show you how to create a simple part of the web page and what we can do with it. So as I mentioned before, you need to have a browser and text editor. But if you don't want to choose code editor and so on, you can use a simple sandbox. One of these sandboxes, it can be a code pen. Here you can just type the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript code, and you will see the result immediately on the same window. Yeah, so let's start. So let's start from the HTML. The building blocks of the HTML code, it's tags. We have open tag and close tag, and we have the information inside. For example, I will add just h1 tag. H1 tag, it's header tag, and this tag it's say to the browser that, hey, I have some data, some text, and I want you to highlight it like header. It can be big, it can be smaller if you use h2 tag here. Yeah, you can see that it's smaller and so on. We have a lot of different tags. Here it's header tag. Let's add another portion of the data. It will be paragraph. Here you can see result. And the last one block, it will be button. Previously, it was just about text. Here we have another type of block of tag. It's button. There is no any interactive actions here. It's just structure. We have text, we have data, and we have a dummy button without any action. We have a lot of tags. We have different groups of tags. All these groups we will cover on our course, front-end course. If you want to start now, you can just scan this QR code and open Mozilla Developer documentation. And here you can check different types of tags and different description, how it works, and so on. So also, I just wanted to note that MDN, Mozilla Developer site, it's good point to start. So here they have tutorials. You can read these tutorials. You can have a practice. You can use this sandbox or create your own on the code pen and have some practice. So yeah, it's a good documentation. We have different types and different groups of text. But let's move to another part, to the CSS. As I mentioned before, CSS, it's about visual part. They have selector. We need to set, for example, we want to add some styles. We want to add some rules for specific tag. Here, for example, we will add some visual rules to the H1 tag, to this one tag. We have selector, we have properties and values. Here we have font size. We change it to font size. We can add another value here. It will be bigger and so on. But the main rule is next. We have tag, we have information inside. If we want to change the visual part, we need to add some styles. We can change font size, color, and so on. Let's add another styles for the paragraph, for example. Yeah, here we added some margin and we changed the color. And let's add more styles for button. You can see it's default browser button. Every button tag will have the same view. It can be different in different browsers, but mostly it looks the same. But we will change it. You can change it. Here we add different rules. We changed the color. We added background color. We changed the cursor to pointer. Now it's pointer. Yeah. So here we have like a page template, a part of the page. We have H1 tag. We have paragraph, some text, and some button. As you can see, if I am clicking on the button, nothing happens. So there is no any logic, no any action yet. The action will be added on the last part. It will be added with JavaScript. JavaScript is programming language. The building blocks, it's the functions. Here is example of function. We have keyword function, we have function name, we have function parameters, and something that this function needs to return. It's an example, synthetic example. Let's add some JavaScript in our code. And yeah, and I will try to cover here. What do we have? So the logic is next. We have a script that firstly will find the button by the tag name. Here we have this button. Here is a button visualization. After that, we will add some event listener. When we should to do something. We should do something when user will click on the button. Here. The next part is a function, which will be executed when user will click on this button. What will happen? When user will click on the button, we will execute this part of the code, and the logic is next. The same as we have it here. Firstly, we will find the paragraph. Here, it's a paragraph. And we will change some CSS rules for this paragraph. We will change opacity property to 0. As a result, it should hide our paragraph. Let's check. When I'm clicking the button, the paragraph is hidden, but it's still present on the document structure. We have developer tools. I will briefly show you how you can open. Okay, let's open it from here. I believe we have more tools, developer tools, and you can choose every element on the page. For example, we have this H1 tag. We have paragraph, and as you can see, it's still present with text inside, but style CSS was changed and opacity as 0. Yeah. We can change it, this logic. For example, we can change the color. Let's check if it works. And let's change it to yeah, and this, as you can see, you can change the color. So everything, every action, every dynamic changes. It's about JavaScript. It's the last part, last stone of the front end. It's JavaScript. Yeah, so for now you already can create your own first web page and share it with your friends. Send this link and share it. The last one part, it's about the front-end frameworks, front-end evolution. Front-end is very popular. If you check any job site, you can see that always we have some vacancies with React developers or Angular or Vue or any JavaScript, HTML developers. We have a lot of frameworks. And here you can see if we had only HTML, CSS, and JavaScript when the web started. Now we have hundreds of different frameworks. So another question from newcomers is about what I need to learn, where I need to start. I can see that we have 100 different frameworks. You can find information and documentation for every framework. It's free. For example, Pug, it's HTML framework. You can just type Pug and find the documentation. But the main question from newcomers, it's what I need, where I need to start. And here it's another point of our course. You can we're covering the front end way from the start. We're starting from the plain HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and we smoothly moving to the frameworks. Yeah, but I just wanted to tell you what is it, the frameworks, what is it, different libraries. It's about reusable code. I show you that you can, for example, let's talk about this button. You can add these styles by yourself. And if it's simple landing page, maybe I believe it will be better to use simple HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, maybe, if you just want to create a landing page. But if it's a big project with different business logic, you don't want to put the same code. That's why we have frameworks. That's why you can reuse something. Here is example. Here is a library for React framework with different types of components. For example, buttons. Here you can see a pretty button with some animation. And if you will use this framework, Material UI framework for React, you just have to use this specific custom tag, and everything that we have inside all this animation, it's already exists inside this tag. So frameworks and libraries, they help us to reuse something that was already created. Checkboxes, different, here we have different logic, but sliders, it's already created and you can just use it. Avatars, you can just put image source and it will be already rounded. So we have a lot of frameworks, 100, maybe 1,000 frameworks for front end, the same for the backend. But we have 3 main frameworks. We have 3 big, top big frameworks. It's React.js, Vue.js, and Angular. They have support from different big companies. For example, React, it was created inside Facebook, and after that it was moved to the it was open as open source library. Angular supported by Google Vue.js also have some support, but if you will start any project, if you will get your first job, probably it will be one of these three frameworks. On our course, front-end course, we covering React and Vue.js. But if you have, if you want to ask your teacher in future about Angular, I believe you can have answers too. And the last slide, it's about roadmap. You also can scan this QR code. It will open the page where we have a big description of technologies and knowledges that you need to have. You don't need to have all these knowledges immediately, and you don't need to have all these knowledges if you're trainee or junior developer, but here you can check what you need to know. You can check sources, you can watch different free courses. As you can see, these three main stones, they're here: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Global knowledge is about internet and everything that is connected from JavaScript. We have moving to the package managers. Here we have, as you can see, Material UI. It's a library that I showed you. We have different frameworks and descriptions about these frameworks, and so on. So you can play with this roadmap. Information about React, Angular, Vue.js, it's also present here. Yeah, but and also for sure we will cover most of these topics in our front-end course. Yeah, that's it for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. I guess you can stop sharing your screen just to allow everyone. So yes, and we have some questions from our registration form. The first one is, which framework is better to use?
Yeah, it's a good question. I believe that every project can be started from one of these three frameworks: Angular, Vue.js, or React. They have different pluses and minuses, but I think that you don't need to, I think you need to have some practice with every framework. And after that, you can choose for you which one you use in future, but it doesn't matter for now. They have good support. They have a lot of additional libraries, plugins, and so on. So we cannot say, we can say that, for example, React is maybe most popular for now, but I cannot say that it's better. For example, I'm using Angular on my current project and I'm happy with it. We're using TypeScript, we have strong structure and so on. So yeah, all of these frameworks are very powerful.
So usually you can choose when you're working over some project, you can choose which framework to use.
I think usually it will be like this. So you have some first job and senior developer will say that we will use Angular here, and you will say yes. And open the documentation page and start your journey.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
And okay, let's then move to the question. This is very popular on each webinar about the first job. How to find the first job when you don't have an experience? Because usually people ask, like, every employer wants to hire someone who already has experience.
Mm-hmm.
But to get an experience, you have to get some job.
Yeah, I agree with you. And yeah, so first of all, you need to have your profile page. for us, for programmers, it can be GitHub page. It's where you can store your code, your own projects, your code base. And for example, when we choose who's better, we can just open GitHub and see, for example, this one guy have 5 projects with React. He tried to push code every day, have some practice. So you need to have your profile, and also it's good to have something like full project, not just pieces of code, but finished project, something that you can share. For example, it can be your portfolio page, for example, made by yourself. Yeah, and also in our course, our front-end Beetroot course, we have final project, and it can be your portfolio. Yeah, so I think it's for us, GitHub, it's a place where you can see what this programmer have on backstage.
Got it. Okay. The next question is about the soft skills, because during our courses we focus not only on like hard skills, but usually pay attention to soft skills because they are essential in every job, in every position. So in your opinion, what soft skills do the front-end developers need?
Yeah, I think first of all, it's about communication, because we don't have now projects with single developers. So it's not about some garage where you have a computer and you're creating your own Google by yourself. We have, for example, on my current project, we have around 100 developers. We have small teams. They're responsible for different parts, and they have to communicate between each other. So yeah, you for example, you made your small part of task, and this task is connected to some task from backend developer side, and you need to communicate between. Also, if you're talking about soft skills, you need to have a good planning skills about estimation, but it's another pain. So yeah.
Talking about like estimating project
Yeah.
time, how long it will take to make?
Yeah. So, but you can improve it, and when you have some practice, you will improve it in any case. Yeah, so I think also different management systems like Jira and so on. But mostly, in my opinion, I think that development, it's not only about the code. It's maybe 50%. It's about communication. So if you have good communication skills, and if you like to write the code, I believe that you can be a good developer.
What about time planning? I guess the main mistake of the newcomers is that they like trying to do this in a week, but then realize that it takes 3 months instead.
It's not only about junior developers, but here we have some benefits. So, for example, if you're working in team, so you can ask some senior developer, and you can spend with this task, for example, 1 week. But if you ask someone, you will spend with it 2 hours. So it's another point. When you when you have some real production experience, you will grow more fastly than without it. You can communicate with other developers, ask, okay, how can I do it, and so on.
I see. Okay, and then the last question, I guess it will be more personal. I want to ask you, what do you personally love and hate about the front end? Maybe there are some points that make you enjoy it, and something really annoying that you don't want to repeat, but you have to because it's part of your job.
Yeah, we have something like this. From my vision, the best part is that you can see the result of your work. For example, you're creating implementing some design. You're creating the site, it looks good, and you can see, okay, super. I did this fonts, the view is changed as it was on the practice part. So we just added some new styles, the color is changed. We added fonts changed. We added some logic, and you can see it immediately. Because on backend, it's more about just coding. You're coding, you're creating some API interfaces for another program and so on. But the front end, it's about the visual part. But from another side, you can have 1,000 tasks, like please move this button 3 pixels on the right. Okay, we decided that it will be better to move the same button on the left side in 10 pixels, make it blue, and no, let's move it to the red color, and so on. So it can be annoying, this small task like moving something 3 pixels right and so on. But it's a part of the work. It's another side of the moon.
Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing your experience. I guess every single profession has some annoying parts, but also it has some parts that you really love. And I hope that everyone who is interested in front-end developer will find and really fall in love with these parts that make you enjoy your work. Alex, I thank you for this amazing performance, for your presentation, and for sharing your personal experience and emotions as well.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.